Hi guys, I thought I'd do a copper video going through um, uh, various copper, the metal itself, copper miners, and obviously some some ratios to see how copper is going against other assets, and also some of the main stocks, almost main miners in the stock market. So first here we've got is the copper metal itself, and I've noticed that in May copper has um, improved against a lot of the other assets. So I thought it was good timing to go through and see what's happening. So we can see here. So all these are going to be on a monthly trend of the charts. And for the chart to be bullish, we're looking for the price to be higher than the moving averages and also the cloud as well. So you can see on this chart that the metal is in a bull phase. It's above the cloud, above the moving averages. And the trade has been entered in here, which is just started a couple of months ago in April. So that's looking good with a price target of $8 for the metal. If you want to, so this is of the copper futures. There are some ETFs. There's CPER, and also there's also Wire. That's on the ASX, which tracks the price of the metal. Next chart we'll go to is the miners. So this is COPX, and this tracks all the copper miners. And you can see here, it's definitely bullish. It's above the cloud, above the moving averages. It broke out back in August last year, so almost this time last year, and it's almost finished this measured move, which is a replica of a prior measured move. You can see I've got down here some other ratios. So COPX versus gold, it has been outperforming gold, and also the SPX has been outperforming the S&P 500 as well. So that's the copper miners, which has been doing quite well. Let's move on to some ratios. So first one, we'll have copper versus gold. So should you be in copper or should you be in gold? So if the ratio is going up, it's better to be in copper. So you can see here we've got a long-term downtrend of it, better to be in gold. So once copper on this chart gets above the two moving averages and the cloud, you'd be very convinced that it's better to be in copper. So it looks like it's just bounced off its support level, and can it get through its resistance, that resistance level coming up. So it's a bit 50-50 at the moment, whether to be in gold or copper. But we'll see how things play out. Next one is it better to be in the miners or the metal itself? And yes, it's definitely better to be in the miners at the moment, although it has gone through a bit of a reset at the moment. So we've got this rising resistance. Sorry, it's now support channel. So it was resistance, now has become support, and will most likely will bounce off this moving average, and it'll be another bull environment for the miners over the metal. So the trend is still intact there. So now we've got copper, the metal, versus the S&P 500. So is copper outperforming just being in stocks? So for that to be the case, we need this chart price to be above the moving averages and the cloud, and it looks like it's found a bottom, and we could be looking for that rotation into hard assets being confirmed. So look out for that. We could have a really good run for copper. It might be a combination of the S&P starts just underperforming and copper outperforms, and that could really start to rocket up there if that breaks out. So now we'll move on to the producers. So the first one we've got here is Freeport. So this is confirming what the copper ratios have been telling us, and looks like here we've got this slightly rising resistance line, and we've had 1, 2, 3, 4 touches, if not a bit more. And if we can get a monthly close above this, I'd say it's going to accelerate up quite a lot there. So how's Freeport going against the metal itself? It's about 50-50. It's underperforming COPX, so still underperforming there. It's underperforming gold, but has been outperforming the S&P 500. So that's definitely one that I think in the coming months, if we get a nice strong close above there, that trades on the Southern Copper Corporation. So you can see here it sort of had its first breakout 6 years ago, and it's just been doing the same measured move ever since, every few years. So right now it's outperforming copper, pretty much on par with the other miners, pretty much on par with gold, outperforming S&P 500. Next one we've got is Teck Resources. So this one does more than just copper, but as it does a number of different things, it's a bit more diversified. But the emergence of copper will definitely help these companies that do a few different things. And here I've had a breakout back in maybe January, retested back in April, and then it's gone again. So that sort of trade is on nearly 50% of that measured move. So again, it's on par with the metal, underperforming other miners, underperforming gold, that's sort of on par with the S&P 500. Next one we've got is First Quantum. So again, this one's this rising resistance line. We've had one, or we even say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches. So if this breaks through, I'd say that's going to accelerate up, and it's ready to take off. And if it doesn't, it breaks down again, we might get another touch on this rising support line. So we'll best to wait for a nice strong close above that rising resistance line, and I think that one's on. Next one we've got is Rio. So these are the mega miners that do lots of different things, and copper is just one of the things that they are mining. So this one has actually already completed a measured move from a breakout back sort of December last year. That was completed pretty much last month in May that hit its measured move. So most likely this looked to potentially rebase again and then potentially go again for Rio. It's sort of on par with copper, underperforming the miners, underperforming gold, but better than the S&P 500. Next one we've got BHP. So again, another one does a lot of different things, but is copper going to help get this BHP going again? So that's definitely bullish. So it's above the cloud, it's above the moving averages. Maybe slightly underperforming the metal, underperforming copper miners, underperforming gold, and it's probably on par with the S&P 500. So definitely good whilst you're above all those moving averages in the cloud. The last one we got here is ANTO, which is in Chile. And this one has been going really good. So it's doing lots of the same measured moves all the way back since 2016. Does a long multi-year base, goes again, another long multi-year base, goes again. The last one's a little bit shorter, so it's probably halfway through its current measured move. It's a little bit stretched at the moment. So definitely outperforming copper, on par with the miners, outperforming gold and outperforming the S&P 500. So what I've learnt is that copper was one of the biggest improvers in May when compared to other assets that you can choose to be in. The silver and the miners still remain the leading assets. So silver, gold. I've also noticed uranium's sort of lost a bit of leadership. It seems like copper now is competing with silver as one of the more stronger commodities, assets to get into. So let us know if you have been looking into copper. If there's anything else you'd like me to cover in the copper world. Until next time, thanks for watching.